Hello guys, and welcome to the Hobbies Hive, where all the best hobbies nest. I'm your host, Stylianos, and today out of the nest we got two special hobbies. Hope you're buzzing as much as I am, as first we got a quite intense at times hobby because of the nature of his activities in the form of circus skills. I, along with my cameraman, got to experience this hobby in its full glory and got to get more insight on what makes it so great from some of the Circus Society members. Let's see how we got on and what the Circus Society members had to say about their beloved hobby. Hey.
Hey.
How are you, Morton?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, where are the monkeys on unicycles and the tigers?
Unfortunately, we don't have any tigers. The monkeys are busy practicing over there, and we might get to see some unicycling later.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I mean, I was going to ask about, if you have an elephant here, but I mean, you're not going to have an elephant in this room. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously we do have to keep the elephants outside for safety reasons, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit upsetting because I really wanted to address the elephant in the room, but I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, could you train me, teach me some juggling and all that?
Yeah, of course. We can have a go at that, yeah.
Actually, I don't need you. I'm natural. You can go. I'll try by myself.
Fun.
Motor! I need your help.
I knew it. You've got 3 balls. Drop 2 of them. Good. So the first step to learning to juggle, it does seem basic, but if you can't do this, we are going to struggle later. So 1 ball, throw from one hand to the other. Good. Slightly higher, aim for about eye level, then go up, nice arc straight into the other hand. So up, over, like that.
I made sure I took my time to learn how to properly juggle one ball from one hand to another, getting up to the right height and as consistent as possible arc, as Morton emphasized how important it is to get used to the right motion before moving on to using 2 balls and eventually reaching the desired 3 balls at a time. Finally, after some time, I decided I'm ready to take the next step and up my juggling skills to above beginner.
Alright, so 1 ball in each hand. You're going to start, it's exactly the same throw you just did. Yeah. So the first ball, you're going to throw the first ball, I'm assuming you're right-handed?
Yeah.
Right, so start with your right hand.
Okay, yeah.
Throw the first ball, same arc, into the other hand.
Okay.
What you want to do, when that ball reaches the top of its arc, so when it's about eye level, that's when you throw the second ball.
Oh, okay.
So the first ball, up, and as it's about to come down, then you throw the next one. So it'll be 1, 2.
Okay. So now that I learned how juggling 2 balls works, I had all the knowledge needed to go a bit after straight into trying to juggle 3 balls, although the clips you just saw may deceive you. Juggling 3 balls was literally the exact same technique with juggling 2. All the extra bit that there was to it was getting used to holding 2 balls on a single hand to begin with, and using that extra space in your hand by just using all of your fingers. Ideally, using the last 2 fingers starting from your thumb and going down, us to be able to hold the third ball.
Stilio, get out of the way. This is infuriating. Just juggle.
What? Wait, what? Who put that there? No, get that off my screen now. Whatever. That was nonsense. Juggling isn't that impressive anyway. Let's give it a go at some other much more interesting tricks and show you why I am the self-assigned biggest Hobbies pro out there. After getting sick and tired of juggling and getting shown off by my own cameraman, I came in another day and tried some other tricks. Full focus ahead this time, I had to make sure I justify my title as the biggest Hobbies pro there is out there. After basically becoming the pro that I was always meant to be, I decided to put on the GoPro real quick to give a lovely first-person view for all the viewers. Okay, that didn't go to plan. So I had to tell the other Circus Society members to put the GoPro on to get actual quality footage, and the Circus Society President and Vice President kindly decided to provide me with the goods. Why did you join this society?
Because it seemed fun. I knew how to juggle the basic 3 balls, and I just thought it could be fun to try and learn a bit more.
So I'd started doing circus tricks about a year before coming to uni, and I found out via their Instagram page that they existed, basically.
I was very much roped into it by Morton.
I just landed up playing with some poi on an open day and just absolutely fell in love with it.
What makes doing circus skills a really good hobby in your opinion?
To be honest, I find it very meditative.
When you finally master a trick, it just feels so good, like the happiness is brilliant.
What was your favorite skill that you learned from society?
I think my favourite skill, just because I can kind of do it without much equipment, is juggling. So I can carry juggling balls around in my bag, and if someone asks, do you have a cool hobby, I can take it out and show people.
Probably the most fun thing I've learned how to do is juggle fire.
My favourite bit during contact staff is setting it on fire and creating a fireball, because it's great.
It was great to get all this insight on this fascinating hobby. Well, now in the studio joining us to give us even more insight on their hobbies is the University of Kent Circus Society President and Vice President. Thanks for joining us today, guys. It was a great gesture from you. Well, during the interviews, you both mentioned that your favorite circus tricks are fire tricks. Can you tell me a bit more about them and how was the process of learning about them, Beth?
Yes, so if you pick up a skill that you particularly like, so in my case contact staff, eventually if you have more experienced members with you, you can ask them to potentially teach you how to use fire. So we provide safety equipment and we have insurance, and essentially you start off slow but genuinely setting your equipment on fire and feeling the rush and the heat is just incredible.
Well, yeah, that sounds incredible. I can't imagine how that was like. We also had a few chats before this live, and you guys mentioned the Human Experience event. And you performed at that, right? How was the experience? What did it involve doing?
So, the Human Experience Volume 3 was an arts showcase performance event run by Kent Law School and the Afro-Diasporic Legal Network. And yeah, we were lucky enough to be able to perform. It was the first time we'd done a group act as the Circus Society. We did a magic trick where Ella had learnt some psychic skills, and she was guessing the cards of people in the audience and reading their minds. We had a game where there were 4 bags, and there was a big nail standing up in one, and the game was to slam your hand down on the 3 bags that didn't have the nail in. So a lot of tension and excitement. Great fun to perform, and really nice to create a group performance as a society.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Very intense for sure. But like, well, lastly, I have to know a bit more about one of the biggest events for all the circus enthusiasts out there. Can you tell me a bit more about the British Juggling Convention event and like, why is it exactly and how do you find it like when you?
So the British Juggling Convention is, it is a national juggling circus convention. It was held in Ramsgate this year, nice and close, and we were there just a few weeks ago. It was fantastic fun. It was a week-long event full of workshops, classes, performances for, well, juggling, but also any other circus skills you could possibly want. So we got to attend classes and improve our skills, try out some new skills, which was really fun. We had to go at combat juggling, which is very exciting. It's great to be a part of that. And there are some incredible shows in the evening from some world-class jugglers and world record holders. So fantastic to attend, really great fun, yeah.
Wow, that sounds brilliant. Well, thank you so much, guys, for sharing your experience with me. That was brilliant. But yeah, that's all the time we have for now. After the break, we'll cover more brilliant hobbies, and we'll catch you after the break. Welcome back, guys. Up next on the Hive, we have a hobby that I can assure you will get you hooked, followed by a bonus, much simpler but all that sentimental mystery hobby. Bernie Hook, creator of Hooked Racing, got to show me around and made sure I dive deep into his hobby. I don't think I'll need any guidance for building my own hooked racing car. It should be a piece of cake, really. I mean, I've always been naturally gifted and crafty since I was a child, so I'll do everything by myself. It's fair to say, Bernie didn't seem too impressed. Although Bernie wasn't impressed with my efforts of building my own car earlier, he decided to put together a car for me so I can have a go at driving it. He decided to put me through some challenges to see where my level is at. First challenge was trying to park. Even the cat was ashamed of my parking skills. Afterwards, he got me to simply crash onto some cars. His reaction speaks for itself. We got a star guest joining us out of nowhere. He can tell I'm having a rough day. Eventually, I did get a few hits in though. Bernie revealed to us a secret new formula he's trying to implement for the races, which includes wearing VR goggles to be able to see in first-person view, with a small camera being placed inside the car. To finish off the day, I got to paint my own car with Bernie's help, and then decorate afterwards as I pleased.
First place, our 8th banger, world final champion is
Ilianos Gabriel. And the rest is history. Hooked racing was extremely fun, and I can show you I'm attending a race soon. Unfortunately, Bernie could not join us today in the studio, but luckily we got to interview him on the day. Can you tell me a bit more about hooked racing and how you came up with the idea, like who contributed with it, maybe the history?
Yeah, so I'm always racing. I race everything, race things all my life, and just before COVID, we raced these. These are 12 scale cars, and they race on carpet. But during COVID, we couldn't go indoors, so we had to start racing outdoors. And you can't race small cars outdoors, so we got these cars. But these cars have petrol engines. Now, we all enjoyed racing them, but you can't race a petrol engine car in the evening because of the noise. So we decided to make some electric cars. So while we were building electric cars, we also like banger racing. So we combined the two and we built this. Now, a few of my friends helped me loads with it, Craig and Jake. So we took this car, took these all apart, and made this basically out of the 12 scale cars. This is an 8 scale car. That's the chassis, and they have bodies like this on them. So the plastic parts are 3D printed. These parts, they're all the bits that break when you're racing. They're all made from PLA, which is 3D printed, which is a biodegradable plastic. The base is aluminium. Yeah, it's all very good for the environment.
Yeah, that makes it even better than the electric cars. Yeah. What's your history with racing? Have you been doing racing for a while? Is this the first sort of racing you do, or have you been doing other types of racing?
So I used to race like real cars, like oval racing, banger cars, when I was a kid. Then I moved on to racing bikes. I've raced hovercrafts. I raced all kinds of things, and now I'm racing radio controlled cars. Yeah, all different cars.
Have you been successful with the racing? Have you had any real awards?
Yeah, I do all right. Yeah, I race a mini moto. I've won 2019, 2020, 2021 British champion on a mini moto. So I do well on the bikes. Yeah.
So is this more like a family business thing? I mean, it's not business, family hobby. But yeah,
my family's really involved. Yeah, I try not to be a business because I want to enjoy it. So we don't race. We race once a month. I don't want it to take over. I don't advertise it. I haven't tried to build it. It's just naturally building through word of mouth. But yeah, I want to try and keep it as a fun hobby and not too much of a business. Yeah. Everyone wants me to race more, but then I'll start to find it like a job, like a chore.
So how do the races work? Like, what's the format like?
Okay, so we have all the drivers check in on here, and then we have a big oval track, and that has a bridge across it, and on that bridge is a infrared pickup. Each car has a PT, a personal transponder, with a number. That number is registered to your name. When you race around the track, that sends an infrared signal to the bridge, and so the computer knows who's achieved the most laps, fastest lap, things like that. So a normal banger race is about 4 minutes, and it's who can do the most laps in 4 minutes, but a lot of people just like crashing into each other. And if you can find who's winning and crash into them, then you can stop them and win yourself.
Up next in the studio, joining us, we have Allegra to talk us through her sentimental hobby. Thanks so much for joining us today, Allegra. Can you tell us what your hobby is?
Yeah, so basically I used to collect train tickets, and I used to live in Essex originally, and I now live here in Kent as a student. And yeah, I would just record down all the things I did that day and put it on the train ticket, and I put it on my wall. And yeah, it's a great way for me to keep up with memories. It was, yeah, really fun.
Oh, that sounds like such a great way of collecting memories. Well, how long have you been doing this?
So I started in 2017 and then I finished around 2020. So about 3 years worth of tickets here. Yeah, so quite a lot to show, yeah.
Oh, damn. Well, can you tell us a bit about some of your most memorable trips, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I got loads to choose from really, and some of them I'm not even can't remember. But like I was so like dedicated that I'd even print off tickets as well if I couldn't keep tickets themselves. But one example was definitely yeah. So one was when I found out that I made it into my university of choice, and that was on the 15th of January 2020. So much as I didn't need to travel for it, it was a nice like commemoration for that event, and so now I have a permanent memory of that thing. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Those stories were so wholesome. But well, now to round off the program, we have our little mini segment called Guess a Hobby. I will be giving you some vague descriptions of hobbies that will be very hard to guess, but I will be basically hinting the hobby. You have 1 minute timer. It's a quick fire sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, if you don't know a hobby, just say pass. Are you feeling ready?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. I'm excited.
Perfect. Let's go then.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, firstly, I'm flexible. I'm a flexible hobby.
Sporty gymnastics.
No, not quite. But it's fine.
Skip.
Okay. Well, I sound like a word related to law, but I have nothing to do with law.
Essentially law. Skip it. I'm gonna skip it.
Okay. Well, people look cool when they do my tricks, but I'm very dangerous.
Oh, is that one that's parkour?
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Cool.
Well,
right, first one.
My vision is fine, but 10 is all I see.
Oh, nice middle there. Tennis.
Well done. I take place outside and grow on you with time.
Oh, that's gardening. Gardening, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well done. Cool. Well, although people think I have something to do with Harry Potter, I have nothing to do with Harry Potter.
Skip.
Okay, well, that's all the time we got for. Well, good effort, Allegra. Thank you so much for that. But that's all the time we got for today in the Hive. Thanks for tuning in with us, and make sure to contact us through all our socials to tell us what unique hobbies you want covered next on the Hive. Until next time, from me and the whole team, goodbye.